Hi, everybody. This is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, where it's an absolutely beautiful spring day. Just came back from taking a walk through the woods. Really, really nice. So the market is celebrating spring, I think, rebounding off of some couple of tough days at the beginning of the week. The question is this for real or is it just another head fake? Are we going to test some resistance areas and then come back down? Are we going to be yo-yoing around? Or are we going to shoot straight for new highs? We'd like to resolve some of those questions, along with taking a look at the EV plays today. In particular, FSR is up. Let's look at CCIV. Let's look at NIO. Let's look at Tesla. Let's look at GM. Let's look at maybe even something like Hyundai Motors, and they're in a self-driving deal with APTV. Maybe we'll give a look at them. So we have a lot to look at in the EV space, and we'll look at some of our favorite biotechs, of course, BCRX, maybe ATHX, and depending if we have time or not, I'm going to try to get an ADAP as a request. Cabinet Guy is with us from the Green Mountain State of Vermont. Howdy doody time. It's howdy doody time. And Pablo is with us. But of course we're going to check BCRX. Por favor, no problema. All right, that's about all the Spanish I know. Okay, so what should we do first? Well, we could wait for Professor Spike. He's due on in about 2 minutes before we get started charting, and he keeps track of the order for me. Dr. J, the GOAT. Hey, we haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, Dr. J, the GOAT? Yeah, I'm doing okay. Hope you're doing okay. Anthony out of Seattle. It's always raining in Washington for whatever reason. But they have some beautiful campuses there, namely Microsoft and what else is in there? I don't even know anymore. Seattle has got Bezos and I don't know what else. Haven't been here for a while. Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, I know you haven't been here for a while. We keep attendance. Anthony is from New York originally. Okay, Anthony. I get my Yankee cap back. And Jiggly picked up some cheap DMTK, and he says it's going to the moon. I agree with you, Jiggly. I've been saying that all along from the beginning of the year. It's my best biotech pick of the year. And I've been crying in my soup a little bit, but it's coming back today a little. So we'll see what happens. I haven't sold any. Cabinet Guy says Paysafe, Paysafe is my athesis. Yeah, I'm big on athesis, and apparently Cabinet Guy has been in PSFE a while and is loading the boat. I wish you a lot of luck. I think once online gambling comes to 52 states, I think PSFE it'll be reflected in the price of PSFE. So I agree that that's a decent one to accumulate. Where do I sell my cheapies? You don't get investment advice here because Dr. J, Professor Spike, Arjun, and Jake, we don't give investment advice. We simply tell you what we're doing and what we think, but our opinions are strictly our own. And you should do your own due diligence, Jiggly, you know that. And check with your advisor before acting. Buffett the cheetah, I think he should be suspended for life. No question about it. Okay, so I guess we should get started. We're not going to bother waiting for Professor Spike. First up on my list, I guess, was FSR, but before we check individual stocks, I would like to check on the general market. Yes, small cap index. It's exactly what I had in mind. Dr. Jada Goat is reading my mind. Okay, let's get at it. Let's share screen. And let's start by looking at some of the macro stuff. Let's look at, I don't know, what do you want to look at? Want to look at VBO? It's an interesting small cap play. Haven't looked at that one ever, I don't think. Maybe now's the time. The general market is doing quite well. S&P 500 up 1.29%, the Dow up 0.87%, the Nasdaq up 1.9%, the Russell up 1.62%, crude oil is also up 2%, gold is also up 0.79%. Everything is up today. We like that. Makes me feel better when everything's up. What is the symbol for the Vanderbilt Small Cap Fund? Thought it was VBO. We thought it was VBO. Maybe not. Let's just check the some of the big indices. We'll check the RUT. My internet is slow for change. There we go. Up a neat 1.6% on the day. Let's see if Professor Spike is waiting. Is waiting.
Hello.
So, Professor Spike, you were waiting in the wings.
I was in the wings.
So we're going to check some of the macro stuff before we look at the individual stocks. So I want to check small cap. I thought VBO was a symbol, but I'm having trouble getting it. We'll check the RUT. Russell 2000.
Okay.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Is it because I don't hear high frequency sounds well, or is it the connection?
You should be able to hear me. Okay.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Now I hear you. Now I hear you better. Maybe it's the wax. It's probably the wax in my ears, you know.
Or the wax in my
mouth. I assume it's the wax.
So how's
or the wax in your mouth. Remind me to read. Remind me to read what Arjun had to say. Arjun left me some words of wisdom to read to everyone, so I will later. Arjun can't make it with us today.
Okay.
I haven't heard from Jake, so I'm assuming he can't. Yeah, we're cooking with gas.
Yeah. Cooking with gas. Now the little skip start. Wow. All right.
Of course, we had a little trouble with gas due to the pipeline, right?
You know, they paid
the Russell. We paid the ransom, yeah.
I know that's not good news. I mean, people have been paying these ransoms, so they're just going to keep coming.
We virtually had no choice, I guess.
Well, that continues to be the case. My nephew's going into cybersecurity. He thinks he's going to get rich. Probably right.
Yeah, cybersecurity, definitely. I like this sequence of higher lows in the rut. It looks like we put in another one just yesterday, right?
Okay.
It's a very nice sequence of higher lows, and not terribly many lower highs, just really one to speak of. Well, there was one here, another one here, but the last high was a higher high. So we're looking okay on the rut. Like so many of the indices, like so many of the stocks, we have to get by the 9-day, which is resistance. So a break of the 9-day, and I think we could safely say this correction of 5 to 8%, depending on the index, is over. Remember, I said that whenever you get that gravestone doji, you're looking at 3 to 20%, anywhere from 3 to 20% correction. So I figured the gap down on when was it? The gap down on Tuesday, we had it, and I got out. I got out a little too soon, but I made some money.
He's making money.
Can't complain. And I noticed this may cross 100. So a cross of the 100 by the 9, I wouldn't be too happy. We already crossed the 50 over here, and we did get a fall. So maybe that's enough. We don't have to cross 100. We're just approaching 100. It's right at the key level right now. I want to see it take out the 9-day before I'm convinced that that the bull is back in control on the rut. Let's take a look. It's worth looking at another index there too, I think, just to analyze this further.
Yeah.
Let's look at the Dow with its gravestone doji.
Well, doesn't look like this one's recovered quite as. Oh, there it is. Okay, good.
My internet is a little flaky.
Yeah, so is mine today. I don't understand it.
We're having a very good day today, up to 90.
Well,
we had a very good day yesterday. Yesterday was an excellent day.
I'm seeing
so again, we're right up against the 9-day. See that? Just like the rut. It's 9-day is everything's bumping into the 9-day. I want to see stocks above the 9-day, not below it. Stocks and indices. I want to see a perfect bull chart. The 9 above the 50, above the 100, above the 200, and the price above the 9. Then I'm very, very confident, much more confident than when it's bumping against that 9. And there are a few plays like that. Not too many in this market, considering the sell-off we've had, especially in biotech, in EV, in marijuana. So we've had big sell-offs. So I wanted to concentrate on the automotives, the EV play.
I saw that was your angle for today, except for our big 3.
Yeah, it's basically the theme. But do you want to start with BCRX, our usual?
Well, we have the big 3, our usual, BCRX, CVM, and Athesis. We can either start with them or we can end with them.
We'll end with them. So we'll do FSR first.
Yes, let's do Fisker then.
I also want to add ADAP if it was time.
Okay. And you didn't have Volkswagen. I thought Volkswagen might be something people want to look at.
Yeah, maybe. I had Hyundai I threw in there.
So somebody in our audience liked
Hyundai
it.
Motors. I don't know why I threw Hyundai in there, but I figured, what the heck?
Yeah, you threw Hyundai in. Yeah, it's like,
They're-
why are you throwing Hyundai and not Volkswagen?
I don't know. But for one thing, they have a deal with APTV, which is a stock I wanted to look at,
Right, that's
to
a,
do self-driving cars. They're in a joint venture together.
you're already out of Velodyne.
Which one?
The
Yeah, I'm out
VLDR.
of that.
Yeah, I'm getting creamed on that one. I'm
I'm
gonna
out
have to
of
wait. Get my money
I'm
back.
out of all of them. This one opened up big, didn't it? Range 70 today it hit. It hit 1179 before pulling back. I just noticed a high today, 1179,
Wow.
but it
Well,
pulled
is it
back.
anything been happening with
It
Fisker? I mean,
had,
I haven't really been hearing a lot of news.
there must have been there must have been news propelling it up to begin with, and now it's pulled back. I didn't have time to check the news. I'm just looking at the chart. Of course, you know I like Fisker. I like the designer, whatever his name is, Henrik Fisker.
Right.
It's a nice drop all the way down to below 10, I think. Let's see where it was. 961. Tried to come back sharply today, but now it's trading below the 9-day again. So I don't like this candle one bit, do you?
No, this is not one of your least favorite candles.
One of my least favorite candles, where it starts with a big gap up and gives it all back and turns solid red and fills the gap. I think it filled the gap. No, it didn't fill the gap yet. I bet you it fills the gap at 995. I don't think it got there. Lower today is 1017. I think this is going to give it all back. Why not? It's giving this much back. I'll probably just give it all back. So I'm disappointed. I want to be honest. I wanted to look at this chart in the worst way because it's one that a company I like in the long run, and I was hoping I'd see something that would make me tempted to enter. Before I give up on it, let's take a look at the previous low and see how we stand in relationship to that. That low was 870 right down here. So we're above that. In the middle of this green candle, look at that. It pulled back to the middle of that big green candle off the October low, end of October lows. It always seems to pull back to the middle of that big green candle. So we may have hit bottom. I finally found a technical reason to make me think that maybe 960 was the bottom. And, it might not be a bad idea to start nibbling on a little Fisker. It is catching the knife, but I think maybe you won't get too badly stabbed or cut. Yeah, maybe not too badly, because I like this area for support just above the actual low of 870. This would be the middle of this candle, right about 960. So I really like it in terms of support. Came down to where I wanted to come down to, and no further. So I might consider nibbling as I am getting back into EV stocks. That's one of my themes. Return to EV. Of course, I want to make sure the market isn't going to give me aggravation by collapsing on me to 20%. So I'm a little cautious still. I'm not 100% convinced that the bull is back, but and the correction is over. But I'm leaning towards that direction, leaning more towards the correction being over than not, but not with conviction.
Understood.
So
There's more than two shoes to drop.
yes, I mean, stocks go up and stocks go down. They went down a lot. They may come back halfway and then you continue on down. So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
CCIV. This is one.
I'm interested in this one too. I'm still in this.
This is one that raised my interest level when Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live. Did you see that?
Yeah, and in the West Coast they had commercials for this car. Not here in New York.
Yes, I saw the replay of Saturday Night Live. I didn't see it live, but the commercial was the Lucid Air. You're saying that they didn't show it in New York, that commercial?
They showed the commercial out west, but they didn't show it in New York.
Oh, but I saw it on the replay.
There was a Ford commercial that was an electric car.
Yeah, I saw the Ford E-Mustang, I think it was, and I saw the Lucid Air commercial,
okay.
500 miles plus range.
Then I must have commercial, but yeah, everybody was hopeful that day.
So that kind of raised my antennae, whatever.
Antennae, right?
However you pronounce that word.
Yeah. So what is it now? Yeah, I bought this around 20.
That's not a bad price considering where it's been.
It was after the disassembling.
Did I make the wrong kind of line? Yeah. It's still okay.
Yeah, well.
There we go. There we go. We're right at support. If you go all the way back down to 121, it was a low of 1711. And that's our support level, right around $17.
Around the time we first introduced by one of our audience.
It never hit 1711. It hit 1725. I think this is a very good support level of support. Like so many stocks that have collapsed, I think it's collapsed to support levels. And if these get taken out, then look out below. But I think there's a good chance they hold. So if you want to go into what probably is going to be number 2 to Elon, Lucid, this might be a buying opportunity right around here. So I also nibbled at Lucid about a little bit below 20. I kept buying it, so I'm continuing to buy it along with NEO. I'm in the red, not in the green, on both of them, but I think that's temporary.
What's that heaven for? Unless you're.
I think it's heading for the moon, like Gidley says, to the moon.
To the moon.
But if you want to play it for a swing trade, then you're looking at 1690 for a stop loss, and you want to get out in the middle of this green candle, lower 2041, high 24, $22. So if you're looking for $22 and you put in a very tight stop,
I would recommend not swinging this guy then.
You mean you think the potential is so great? Why swing it?
Yeah, just being it for that narrow margin that you're pointing out. There's so many other things out there. We might as well just make this one of your investments.
Well, it's not that narrow. 18 to 22 is not a bad percentage.
All right.
It's not a terrible percentage.
Well, we have to get to the 18
it's,
first.
Isn't it over 20%? That's not terrible for a swing trade.
Yeah, you're right. It's 1/6, right? Yeah, 14%.
Yeah, it's not terrible for a swing trade. And the fact that you're putting in a very tight stop, stop loss. So the stop loss would come right underneath this line. It's not bad, I don't think, for a swing. If you get my drift, you're risking $1 to win 4.
Right.
That's that's 3-to-1 odds, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're risking $1 to win 4. Okay, so I like it for a swing. I like it for a long-term hold. I like it. I think this one is one that could emerge.
Just got to keep our eyes open the day of the merger.
Right. Now, what's the next one on my list? XPEL, Neo, XPEL.
Why don't we do Tesla first? Stay with the Americans first.
Stay with the Americans. The only thing is, I like sometimes to do it in the order that I advertise it.
Oh, because you had some sort of train of thought? Well, then your next one was XPEL.
Not the trend of thought, but people can follow it and find it quicker.
Okay, fair enough.
By the way, could we remind people about subscribing? Because without subscribers, you and I would be talking to ourselves, and we won't make the $1 million in ad revenue. You know what I mean?
Right, but nor would we have the following. Like when I'm in the subway and people recognize me.
Right. They recognize you even with your Mets cap on, or no?
I haven't been in the subway.
That's the only time you go in the subway is when you're going to the City Field. So.
Yeah, I go to City Field. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I get one of those flags for all my good stock opinions.
Yeah. Okay, so Churchill Capital, I rated it as a very interesting spec. Next is XPEV.
PEV was your next one.
This one I took my loss on. I'm out of it. When it broke this key support level, this key low, I said, all right, I had enough. I don't remember exactly when I sold it, but I took a little bit of a loss.
But yeah, it wasn't
I realized the loss on this one. A quick loss is better than a lengthy loss. 25, 27.
You're talking to somebody who's still holding Codex.
You get attached to your stocks.
I know.
I'm only attached to one of them, Athesis. And it's been an unhealthy attachment.
I understand. That's okay. I still own APT also.
Well, we now we haven't solidly gone below this support area, but we're flirting with a complete break of it. In which case, I think it could collapse much further, all the way down to about this level here.
Mm.
That's the $18 level, right? Somewhere around there. It would collapse. I mean, if it severs that support line that I drew, it's going to collapse to about 1850. That would be huge, terrible collapses possible on this one. Just from the chart, it's a very scary chart. So I had to get out. The chart's really scary. I don't see much support until that 1850 area. So right now it's holding on for dear life to get a piece of that line. right? Every single day it's gotten a piece of it. Last
Yeah.
4 days. But again, you got the 9-day is looming above as resistance. And it's hard to say that 2540 is support because it's already been below it 2 out of 4 days. Actually, the last 4 days. 2527, it's been below that each of the last 4 days. Closing above it, looks like it's going to try to close above that at key level today. At least the close above it would offer more hope. All right, this is a weak shot, but if it holds this level, it's got tremendous potential because they're in the luxury EV auto business in China, and they had excellent revenues. I think they beat on revenues and missed on earnings, something like that. Unless it's the other way around. I glanced at that line.
Is it still considered Neo's ugly sister?
What did you say?
I said, isn't this still considered Neo's ugly sister?
I think it's Neo's pretty sister.
Okay.
It's a very attractive looking automobile.
Okay. Yeah,
Neo has a worse looking chart than XPEG,
right.
probably.
In terms of charts, you're right. It's not the pretty one.
Nope.
All right.
Pretty ugly.
Pretty ugly.
Pretty ugly.
I love that joke.
Yeah. So let's just extend the recent low from yesterday and see where it takes us. I drew the line at 3061. It was actually 3071. Nowhere in particular. So the key level here, it took out already. But again, just like its XPEG, it's gotten a piece of it each of the last 2 days.
Right.
3191 is key. 3191. We're trading above that. Looks like we're going to close above it. But a clean break of that 3191, and just like XPEG, I see it probably filling this gap all the way down here. $22. So it could go down to some ridiculous low number should it completely break this low. So again, it's a dangerous stock to own, but one with tremendous upside potential at the same time. You got the 9-day hovering above it, just like the other one. All right, so these are stocks that clearly show wear and tear, and clearly have broken many investors' heart recently. The next one was Tesla. Is that right?
Next one, Tesla, yes.
Tesla, you almost don't care about the chart because it's Tesla.
Right. And Elon must not have to be a good comedic actor. Be a good
I don't think the chart is any better than the others.
At least it's not. Well, yeah.
It's just, but it is Tesla.
Yeah, that and a dime.
Tesla has been extremely volatile through the years, so it doesn't surprise me to see a 900 to 500 move on the downside, which is what it's doing, right? I think the high of the year was around 900. You can check it if you want. But look, they all had these kilos. 538 was taken out. No, it was never taken out.
No, this one
So
hasn't
it's a
been taken.
this one is a better picture than the others.
So
The graph is
we have a little green dot at the end. So yeah.
the chart is much better, just for the simple reason that this key low has not been taken out, and this key low, also is a double bottom going back to 12.2, where it was 541.21. Here it was 539. Essentially a double bottom. So this one, it's number one, it's Tesla. Number two, it has a slightly better chart than the others. And you feel pretty more confident that even if Tesla goes to $250 a share, it'll still go to 1,000. So you could be in for the ride on Tesla, up and down, and in the long run, feel you're going to make money. The others, not so much. So that's why Tesla still has the appeal.
Some of the sentiment from our audience is that overall it's a long waiting game. So for those people who have patient money, yes, but
yeah, you're probably looking at a 5-year hold for these stocks. But I think in 5 years you can see
your save account.
You can see a lot of appreciation. So I mean, how much is anybody's guess? But let's say Tesla's 500 now. 5 years from now, I think it's safe to say it's going to be a double.
Well, then this already split, and
5-for-1 split.
Yeah, it already split. So it's going to split 5 years from now. It'll probably split twice more.
Could be, but I think it'll double. It's conservatively 5 years to get a double is considered good.
Yeah, that's great. Well, in a great environment, that's wonderful.
And I think you can. I want to be on the long side of that bet. That
Sure.
5 years from now, this will be double. So to that extent, you can buy it with your eyes closed, put it away for 5 years, and probably not worry about it too much. Actually, that's not true. You always have to worry about your money.
Well, you always have to worry because you keep your eye out, and during those inevitable big crashes and those big burps.
And things can happen to change the scenario in which you bought it to begin with.
Right. Do you want to go to APTV before you go to the other cars, or just
well,
because
what's next?
The audience. What's next is GM.
Let's stick with it, and then we'll take requests.
Because we have requests for the Alzheimer's stuff.
Okay, we'll do it. I'll give a quick look to GM, which held up remarkably well compared to the other automobile stocks. I sold it and it hardly went down.
You've been hearing how hard it is to buy a car these days. All the car makers must be extremely happy because the dealers I'm talking to are not giving out deals. Their name is they're not dealers, they're sellers now.
But I think it's at some point everyone who needs a car will have bought a car at some point.
Yeah, well, I would have bought a car sooner if BCRX or CVM made its hit. I'm waiting for that CVM money before I buy my next car.
Notice it's the same thing in that the 9-day is.
It's still fighting on that 9-day.
Yeah, but at least you have the 100 as support, solid support. GM looks of the automotives that we looked at. This one looks the best. It's still in an upward trend. Gave back a little. It's got key support below it. It's the 100, it's found support at the 100. I gotta say, this one looks the best of all the automotives we looked at for to be on the safe side. Put it that way. What's next?
Well, I threw VW only because
VW.
only because it's the same.
What's the symbol? What's the symbol for Volkswagen?
VW something. I always forget.
I got it.
Okay. Those two letters always confuse me at the end.
It's 3 letters. AGY.
HUI. Okay. Yeah. Maybe that's why I get confused.
I think that's probably why.
Now look at this. This one actually jumped above the 9.
Yes, we still have that negative cross with the 9 and the 50, but at least it's close to being very bullish. It's a pretty bullish chart.
I mean, this looks so different than GM does.
Yes, but they're both pretty bullish. This one's come down more from its highs.
But look at that run. That GM didn't have that kind of run. Well,
yeah, that's true. VW was as high as $48. Now it's 32. GM never gave back that much from peak to trough.
Right.
This one is behaving more like an EV play.
Well, that's what the point is. This is an EV play. It's certainly not an environment play.
Right. It's behaving more like a pure EV play. General Motors, you gotta like a little bit more than some of the others because they own Cruise, and they're going to be a big player in the self-driving space. So I like GM probably better than this one based on fundamentals and based on they both look okay on the charts. So I'm not going to say based on the chart. I'll say based on fundamentals.
Now, was Hyundai an accident, or do you really wanted to talk about Hyundai?
Skip Hyundai. Let's do APTV.
APTV, right.
We did this one instead of Hyundai.
Right. Okay. Good enough.
Chris, the St. Louis Cardinal fan, Chris, always on with us.
Uh-huh.
He pointed this one out to me when it was Delphi Automotive. Early on, he said it had an excellent trend line, ascending trend line, and he just liked it. I think he bought it. I don't know if he ever held it, but they changed the name to APTV. I don't know why they changed the name. I don't remember if they were a Dublin company back then, or they moved, or they merged. I'm not sure what the story is.
Yeah, I remember, but I don't have many details beyond that.
I know they used to be Delphi.
Right. Yeah.
They were strictly selling auto parts back then.
Right.
Now they're into self-driving software. What a beautiful support line. Oh, man. This is great. A triple support. And it's trying to take out the 9. They're all the same picture,
Yes, I see that.
They're all trying to take out the 9. But the 50 is above. Well, the 50 may have a negative cross with the 100.
Yeah.
And then the 90 had a negative cross with the 100 and the 50.
Right.
But the thing I like about it is 133.55 looks very good. So I would buy this one on dips.
Well, you would buy it right now. Well, actually, you're right. We come back a little bit, but it's got the momentum going anyway.
If it goes down to that 133, I'd buy it. Or maybe the right way to play it is look to swing it, maybe. Depends on your horizons on this one. They have a partnership with Hyundai for self-driving cars. that enticed me to look at it to begin with.
Gotcha.
But the chart looks very nice. How you want to play it is your business. What else?
Well, now we're up to. We might as well do the ones that our audience wants: Sava and Ovis.
ADAP first, because I promised
Oh, that's
that
right. You
one.
asked me to add ADAP. It's right here. Yeah, right. So I was staying on the theme.
ADAP.
And if you wanted to look at VLDR, that's up to you.
Yeah, if there's time, we'll look at it. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly from here on in. Okay. Apparently, I've looked at this before, a trading range. I drew the trading range in. Right now, it's at the low end of the trading range. Your eyes closed, it's a buy. Right. This is so easy because I already analyzed this one. What else? What else?
All right, let's go. Let's do the let's do an Ovis and Sava.
Am I leaving anything out of my list?
I think well. The only thing is the big three. You said you wanted to end with those.
Oh yeah, BCRX and so on.
And TVM and ATHX.
All right, so V. What's the symbol V?
LDR.
VLDR.
Yeah, V Lidar.
All the lidars are really terrible.
Getting creamed, but the thing is, if we're starting to look at self-driving technology again,
yeah,
I was a little sour on it, but yeah, look at this. I was sour on it because I figured, let's do EV first, but I heeded to the idea that lidar and self-driving and electric vehicles is sort of one and the same. And I guess we're both in adult.
I think people in their minds say that self-driving cars are a long ways off. I disagree. I don't think that they're that far off. So it's a question of perception. In the stock market, people don't like to wait a long time for anything. And it's had a clear break of support.
Yeah. I mean, that little green dot might be.
Right now, you're catching a falling knife if you buy this one. I would not buy it.
Your life, myself.
I would simply stay away from this one. And if you own it, I'd probably just sell it. Okay. Move into something else.
Fair enough.
I'd even gamble with a Neo over this. Right now, it's hard to say to buy this one.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, very difficult.
If that last green was a little bit longer, maybe.
Yeah. Sava.
We're doing well time. We've got 5 left.
Up $2 today, right against the grain. It's crazy. Every stop. Bumping with the grain.
Somebody said there was good news on today.
I like the fact that it found the 100 as support the last 4 days.
Yeah, that's what Dan was saying.
And we have a nice trend line on the 100. It also back here on April 21st was at the 100. So the 100 is serving as perfectly good support. And if we take out the 9, it looks like it could maybe challenge the highs up here at 48.91. Excellent swing trade.
Yeah, indeed.
Excellent swing trade. Definitely. Swing this one. As always, our opinions strictly our own, right? We do not constitute the rest of the advice. I just report what the chart is telling me.
Yeah, and I just talk about where I'm losing money. So
You
So people
always
say,
complain.
I actually have friends that say whatever I do,
Some people only brag about their winners, and others only complain about their losers. I think you're in the latter.
I'm more of a crier. I'm more of a
You're
crier
in the
than a
latter
bragger.
group. I'm still bragging
Like I
about
said,
my
I have
Starbucks.
friends who ask me what I'm doing just so they can do the opposite.
This
Oh my
is the one
God.
I drew, the ugly downward line back there. And basically it's another ugly channel all the way down here. So you had that channel going down, but I think we were out of that now.
Well, it's
And
still holding up, but
this was an ugly candle yesterday. Shit,
yeah,
that was really ugly.
yeah.
Big red candle. And today we tried to rally and failed. Recent action on this one is scary bad,
Hmm.
but there's always a good side.
Well, yeah,
Let's look,
looks like a real clear support on that line over there.
yeah, let's look at the silver lining, right? You got to look for that silver lining.
Right.
Class support at 20 and a half. So that's the silver lining. That's about it. The other silver lining is it's the bullish chart. The 50's above 100, above the 200. It didn't collapse totally. And it's
Gotcha.
got good support at the $20 a share.
Just gave back.
It gave back. It's a
Yeah.
very
So
volatile stock. I don't love it, but at least it looks fairly secure in terms of this wall of support. If it
then
breaks that wall of support, then you're looking at the middle of this green candle. You're looking at a big drop potentially.
Dan was saying that yesterday Anovis promised data but didn't deliver.
1358 on any drop, if it breaks this 20 area, 1358. What's the next one?
The next one is the big three, yeah.
BCRX, right?
BCRX, CVM, and Athesis. I mean, we had one mention of Paysafe.
Yeah, that's cabinet guy. I want to read you what Arjun texted me.
Mm-hmm.
He has a message. All right, here's what he says. Trying to catch the bottom in biotechnology stocks is like trying to grab a falling knife. No rush to get into your favorite bio plays. Let the charts dictate your entry point once stabilization is proven out. Till next week. So Arjun couldn't make it. He says, don't rush to get into the bios.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting on his VBIV to pick up. I guess I'll be waiting all the time for that one.
Nice move on BCRX today. Woo!
But yeah, I mean, it's here talking about a range.
Very nice move. Makes Dr. J happy.
Yeah,
Not as happy as it makes Erod, but makes me happy.
Jiggly's just confused. He doesn't know when to get in on all of this because of what's going on.
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
is. It really is hard to find an entry spot, isn't it?
I'll see if I can help him out with that. Well, we have new support and trend line support, and we're moving on up. I mean, this is a healthy move up today.
Yeah.
It looks to me, like I said the last time, that it wants to make new highs above the, at least above this high of whatever this high is, I forget.
Right.
Yeah. It's heading on up. BCRX is one of the stronger bios. It didn't get knocked down too much in the sell-off. Gotta like this one. And we're not. It's not like we're awaiting a particular catalyst.
Right.
It is. Everything's in. It's moving up.
I think we're just waiting for. They're waiting for the next quarter's earnings to be a real blow.
Yeah. So this is really good chart, really good fundamentals, really good company. It's got to. I think it should be owned by every biotech player. I'm not going to dwell on it, but it's a really nice day. I'm glad I looked at it. What's next?
CVM.
I was thinking about this one. I was thinking, should I go for the May 21 puts and calls that are pretty cheap now? And look, it actually got above the 9-day.
The range is sort of articulating itself. It's bottoming at around 19.5 to 20. And the top, we don't even know what the top is going to be.
No, the chart is very strong because the support is at the 50. The 9 is above the 50, above the 100, above the 200. I know we've come down from $28, $27, but you know, for a swing trade, if there's no data, you're going to make some money probably.
Right.
It looks like it wants to go higher.
Yeah, and I jump back into 20. I'm probably going to trade around 25.
The question is, do you want to gamble on 1 week options?
Oh, interesting.
That's the question on this one. Any day now, you could get that data. And that'll move the stock either way significantly. Depending on the premium for 1 week, it might be worth the gamble. Is this the last one, ATHX?
Yes.
I think it rebounded.
They're behaving like things. You know,
ATHX, I just buy it. I hold my nose, I close my eyes, and I buy it.
I mean, it's up today a little.
Yeah, today it's up. It's actually up. And that means I'm not buying it. I don't buy it on up days. I buy it on down days because heaven knows there are enough down days on this guy.
Yeah, I think I was able to jump in at like 170.
Yeah, that's good.
What's in that?
So I'm in it to win it. This is my own opinion. Do your own due diligence. I think ultimately it'll be worth the 8-year wait. I've had at one point nearly 4 times as many shares as I have now, even with my buying. So, you know, I'm not fully committed yet, but I'm still buying. And I like the action off the low, but who's to say that it's not going to make fresh new lows? I can't give that guarantee. Not on this one.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
Yeah. So it's one of my favorites. The chart is terrible. I'm not going to dwell on it.
All right. Right now it's dealer's choice. Paysafe or NWBO.
Paysafe, cabinet guy, man. It's a no-brainer.
And I'm getting creamed with this one too.
This one is a very annoying one to be in, but at least it's forming a little bullish around me after a long downslide. So I don't know what this line is doing. I swear I never put this line in. Sometimes I get lines I don't know where they're from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that one makes any kind of sense.
But it's not a bullish looking chart. Let's start by saying that, obviously.
Right.
And like I said, the good news is we have a little bit of a hope on this bullish rally that's forming for today. And maybe we've seen the bottom. You know, you never can tell with these falling knives where the bottom is. But I think in the long term, once gambling is established and legal in 52 states, sports betting, I think this thing it'll become reflected in this price, the price of this stock. It'll benefit. You may have to wait a while, but.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's in the right space.
You're not far away from all-time lows. This one came to market via SPAC, not IPO, right? I think so. So it's back to spike. It's back to the $10 SPAC price.
SPAC price, right?
Yeah. I think it's worth a play.
You're not in this at all, right?
No. But it doesn't mean I don't think it's worth.
No, I jumped in. I do like the space, but I jumped in a lot higher than down there.
But the thing is, what I don't know is, I used to use NetTeller when I gambled offshore with these illegal bookmakers, and that's the only way you could get money in and out. But there's going to be plenty of competition in the States. So I don't know. Not sure. They have 3 subsidiaries, the way they structure the company. I don't know. I'm really not sure. The man with conviction on this one is cabinet guy. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't like it enough to be in it right now.
Understood. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I should bail or not.
I have 20 stocks that I own. I don't think this is worthy of my 20. And I'm always refining them,
Right.
I had 80 something. If I had 80 something, I'd probably own this. That's the difference. You know what I mean? If I had to pick 80 stocks, this would probably be one of them. But if I'm picking 20, this is not one of them. Even though I'm holding on to some crap like Athesis, So I know I'm a little hypocritical.
Yeah, we have. It's not hypocritical. It's sentimental.
Yeah. All right. So I think we covered a lot. I wish people a good weekend, and we'll see them on Tuesday. We'll see everyone on Tuesday. You have a great weekend, Professor Spike.
Thank you so much. You as well.
You got anything interesting planned for the weekend?
Not really. I'm going to Vegas next week, so that'll be fun.
Not really. Vegas is good. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Bet 00 for me.
You got it.
Did I still have 00, or did they most of the roulette wheels? They only have 10, right?
No, they have both. You kidding? It makes more money for them. Eventually,
yeah, but I thought they took out the 00.
Nope.
You know what's here today? We haven't seen this young lady in a long time.
Oh wow! Wow.
Linda J. from Florida. But Linda's warming up after a winter in Minnesota.
Right. Thawing out.
Adios, amigos. Hasta la vista. Ciao. Shalom.